Firescape Engineers Inspector Summary video. Here we are in Hoboken. We have a fire escape that was hit by a truck at some point in time, and we have a structure here that has original hardware on the fire escape, and we have evidence of required maintenance on this fire escape. So this confidence test, the fire escape at this time does not pass the confidence test, and it could not immediately proceed to a load test. So we have several issues that need to be taken care of in a spot repair, then perform a load test, or we can do a full refurbishment to avoid the load test, as required under, the New Jersey Fire Code 1026.3. So let's take a look at all the things that are wrong here that needs to get done. First of all, we got some tearing coming in, so all these connections need to be verified or duplicated into the building. So that's all the structure going down. You either need to load test to verify these connections into the building, or duplicate the connection by still cleaning the first one, but getting the second one is going to be the primary. Original hardware, any square bolts need to be load tested, or you change the bolt out, there's no need for a load test. So we're going to refurbish a lot of these connections. Going back down, got a lot of paint. This fire escape is older than 78, so presumed to have lead, so you must have an EPA renovator's license to touch the lead. Got a lot of rust growing inside here, so there's a couple of combination of issues, and that is original hardware, square head bolts, as you can see there, and rust is growing. So all these connections must be cleaned and then rebolted. Any welded connections needs to be x-rayed, load tested, or if you put a clip in here, bolt it, no need for a load test. Okay, treads. All the treads are showing signs of rust. Got tears coming in all of them, so every one of these bolts on both sides need to be rebolted. Take the tread out, clean it, put it back, rebolt it. You don't have to load test it. Clips at the bottom, the stringer clips at the bottom. Water and rust has grown in there, so all that needs to be cleaned out, rebolted, no load test. Otherwise, if they're in good order, they need to be load tested. So spot repair and load test, or full refurbishment, no load test. Like along the wall, we need to get sealer in there so that that whole thing gets sealed, so that we don't get any ice jacking or rust jacking pulling this building away, pulling this away from the building. See all this rust in here? It's all got it cleaned out, then rebolted. Same thing there. Going down, see a lot of original hardware. See the changes, rust inside there, got to clean that out. Rebolted. Cement. Some cement issues, minor, but again, those need to be load tested or confirmed, verified to avoid the load test. See all this rust in here? See that? So all that's in there. So all this has got to be cleaned out, sealed with silicone, new bolts on both ends. See the water getting in there now on this nice wet rainy day? This is where the water gets in. So we got to get all this cleaned out, sealed, rebolted. You avoid the load test. Otherwise, you can spot repair if you feel that there's good connections here, and this is one of those fire escapes that can be spot repaired and then at load test. So all this needs to be, see the rust that's growing in here, rust is getting in there, clean it all out, seal it, rebolt it, or spot repair and load test. From underneath you can see how water's getting in and causing some issues and continuing to rust. All these joints here, if you seal these up, water stops getting in there. Ice and ice jacking and rust jacking don't form in there anymore. Needs a full paint job. This base primer color is an indicator that there's probably lead. Anything older than 78 is presumed to have lead. See? Look at all that rust that's growing on the bottom E-clip stringer right here. Okay? All that needs to be cleaned out and rebolted, sealed with 50-year silicone. Otherwise, any ones that are good, you leave them, but then we need a load test in order to verify them. So another one going here. See all the treads? See all that rust coming in from behind? The Good example. So that compromises all this. As you go further down, they just keep getting worse, and the stringers going down are even worse than this one. So you're looking at a refurbishment. All these cement connections need to be verified into the wall or duplicated. I'll tell you what the example of a duplication is. So I either load test this with load test upon completion, or 5 inches away here or on the other side, but most likely on this side, I'll put an epoxy bolt in here 8 to 12 inches deep, put a new clip back to this, tie it this way, epoxy a 3/4 bolt in this way with an epoxy bolt, and now I don't need to verify this. I need to seal it, confirm it, but this is my backup now. Okay, going down, as we go down, we start getting the twist from the smash of the truck. So probably need some barriers down there of some kind to basically keep trucks from smashing this. A lot of paint debris, a lot of paint chipping. As you can see, all this needs to be reworked, cleaned, primed, painted, and then you got to seal it with 50-year silicone with new bolts. Otherwise, load testing is the case. Look at all these platforms here, all rusted. This platform is going to fall through. This platform is going to fall through, and this platform got twisted because of the hit for some reason. So, but look at the repairs that they've done here before that without doing it properly. So all of this needs to be reworked. This is all the smashing that occurred from that truck. All of these were smashed, pulled. So, as you can see, severe damage that was done. But luckily it was all down to the bottom. Okay, let's get to the cable of the weight system. The weight system needs to be balanced so that it drops 2 to 3 feet per second. We need a release arm up here so that nobody can break into this place without releasing the cantilever from above. These cables, brand new cables, these pulleys must be verified and they must be greased and protected. New, these are 1/2 inch or 5/8 cables, brand new. And there's the weight box right there. Going down, 100% of all this rust needs to be removed. Looking down underneath all these stairs, again, 100% of all the treads are going to get rebolted. Look at all the rust happening over there. Again, clean, change bolts, seal it with silicone. Cement work, as you can see, so we got to seal that and then load test it, or we're going to put a new epoxy bolt into the building during a refurbishment to avoid the load test. This is not working right now, but I'm going to make it so that there's a release arm over here, so that when you push the release arm away that's going to be up against the wall, it's going to release the cantilever so that it drops by itself 2 to 3 feet per second, it hits the ground and stays down. And nobody can break into the building because they can't pull it down from down below. So it'll be an anti-theft device also. Here's evidence of all the maintenance and all the damage. This is evidence of what happens when, not only here but from up above, that water has gotten in here and it's basically eating all these connections. So all these connections must be cleaned of all this rust. Then once it's primed, painted, then it needs to be all sealed 100% with 50-year silicone so that we don't have an issue. And this lower area will then be re-straightened for anything that might be out of alignment. But looks like the majority of the work of the hit was taken by the C channels down here. And that's pretty much it. So on this, the fire escape has two choices. First of all, any and all work must be done under a permit. So nobody can touch this fire escape without pulling a permit with Hoboken. It does need engineer oversight, and it does need to have a renovator's license because there is lead on this fire escape. And the options are very clear. You need to spot repair the entire structure. Anything that's going to be left behind will be picked up in the load test. To avoid the load test, you can fully refurbish 100% of all the connections, including any welded connections must be backed up with a bolt, and it avoids the load test. On these rails, we need more lines on these rails because should anybody trip, they're going to fall right through. So all the rails going up need additional lineage so that nobody falls through, including some of this issue here when they go up against the wall here. We need a couple more lines on everywhere so that children don't fall through, people don't pass out and fall through or get trapped in any way. So this is kind of a hazard, kind of an issue. So that's what's going to be needed here on this fire escape. 100% of all the floors need to, I would probably put mesh here because this is a medical facility and there may be children at some times, but otherwise probably the easiest thing here is just to put mesh along these walls here, and that basically covers all your issues about having anybody get hurt. Okay, Any questions, Fire Escape Engineers, Inspector Summary Video. This is Inspector Manessis. If you have any questions, please call me, 866-649-0333, 866-649-0333.